Hey, good morning, everybody. MAGA video time with Steve. What's going on in the world? Nothing good. Nothing good. You guys have all heard about the new Harvard study about the vaccine and how the vaccine was actually not good. It actually increased your chance of getting COVID, and it brought down your immunity levels to where you could get COVID. I was just trying to Google that study and that story and that paper that was published. That's a published paper now. You can't just oh no, stop it. You can't just do that on this one. It was published, okay? So that's after Harvard studies. And if they find out that it's true, then they can publish it. So they did. I tried to Google that and find that to have that as a backdrop, and you can't. And if you can, God bless you. I couldn't. I was searching and searching and searching. Google's buried it. I didn't go much further than Google, so I don't want to hear all the try this internet, try that internet crap. I don't have time. So it's just interesting that Google would just bury that. So let's talk about that for a minute. The COVID lie. Folks, I have never seen a country get so duped by a thing than by what's happened with COVID. We all know it started in China. We all know that America probably had a part in it. We all know that they were trying to weaponize a virus. We all know that. Okay, that's what they do there. Okay, that's why you add all these different protein inhibitors. That's why you add all just everything they did. All of that's just to weaponize the virus. Okay, everybody knows this. Just stop it. It got out in China. China lets it go global. It does. Okay, and then, so what did we do with it? Well, at first we panicked and we thought, okay, well, this could be a global pandemic. And we've all, the movie Pandemic just came out not too long ago. Irony, about a virus that started in China. Anyway, so we panic, we do all this thing. But what does the American government do? Lock down, shut down, start all these mandates. And then, lo and behold, the Democrats get a hold of it. And what do they want to do? What do Democrats want to do with anything? Shovel money onto it. Shovel as much freaking money as you can into it. We were just as guilty, but we were panicking and trying to find out how we're going to save America during this pandemic, okay? So let's start with the airlines. How are you doing today with the airlines? How are they treating you? Because you, American citizen, dumped a ton of your money out of your back pocket into every airline in America. And I mean billions upon billions to keep them alive. And how are they paying you back today? Are they treating you extra special? Are they extra specially nice to you at the ticket lines or inside the aircraft? Or did you have to put up with them saying if your mask came over your nose and shit, they were on you like a Nazi? Yeah, that was their way of thanking you for dumping all of your money to keep their asses flying and have a job. Okay. Then enter in more government control. Pilots don't get the vaccine, you're fired. Teachers don't get the vaccine, you're fired. All these people, all these different places, all these large corporations don't get the vaccine, you're fired. Well, Harvard just did a study that says the vaccine was making it worse. And it's a published study. Published study. If you know what that means, you know that that's correct. That means it's real. Okay. That the vaccine made it worse. So you lost your job because you wouldn't take a vaccine with God knows what in it that makes it worse. That's why you lost your job. Every one of those people should be brought back to work with a bonus, with a rehire bonus of I don't care how much. We're dumping our money at it anyway. Take some of the money we dumped at the airline so we could keep their CEOs and everything rich and screw the American people for flying. And make them mask and make them do all the other crap they had to do to make their flight and their trip and all of their vacations that were destroyed miserable. This is the thanks we got from it's all the travel industry. I mean, it's everything is ridiculous. My nephew went to a hospital day before yesterday to get some keys from his mom because my folks are visiting out there and they have a big family gathering out there in California. This is in Napa. And they wouldn't let him in the hospital without a vax card. Wouldn't let him in the hospital. Mask, didn't matter. No vax card, no enter. To grab some keys. It's not like he was going to the ICU. He was just going to the lobby to get some keys. Wouldn't let him in. I'm telling you, folks, if you don't think that the government hasn't used COVID, I've never seen it. Like I said, I've never seen anything used so horribly to target the American citizen. and keep thumbs on your head and tell you what to wear, what to do, where you can go, when you can go, when will allow you to travel, when will allow you to take off your mask. You can take it off when you eat, and then you put it right back on. Remember that? Anybody here want to call that freedom? Anybody here want to just, and what are we doing? What does the politicians and mostly the left do when it comes to anything? They just dump our money at it. And just see what sticks and works and doesn't work. It doesn't matter as long as they get the money. I'm telling you, folks. Scott Pelley was on 60 Minutes and does an interview with Idiot. An idiot can't even complete a sentence. I'm trying to remember the one. His first sentence didn't even make any sense. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say the began thing. It was so incoherent. It was embarrassing. Then he says, "Hey man, inflation has only gone up an inch." You've got the commander-in-chief with the most important issue in the United States of America today, and that's inflation. That's hurting us all. It's hurting everyone. I mean, he's already just dumped trillions of dollars at it for nothing. And he says, and his mathematical logic is, it hasn't gone up an inch this month. Brandon, you used a measurement, an American tool of measurement, to talk about a monetary gain or non-gain, which is percentages, just for the record. You absolute moronic idiot. To describe one of the most detrimental situations in American history. Highest inflation in 40 plus years. Hey man, it hasn't gone up an inch. I mean, it's as high as it's ever been in 45 years. But this month it stayed that way, and that's great. You cannot make up this kind of stupidity. Sorry, man, I'm fired up because I can't take much more of it. And half of you absolute ass hairs are going to vote for this man, or would vote for him, or anyone like him. As stupid as that son of a bitch is, and he is one stupid son of a bitch. Admit it. All right. What time? Remember what I said? Everything we touch anymore with this administration screwed. And we talked about foreign affairs. Well, okay, how about the Queen? 96-year-old Queen. So that means in 96 years, we haven't had a change in that monarchy. Okay? They're our ally. We fought 2 world wars with them. Okay? And alongside them in other wars in the meantime. We've been each other's backbone in the SAS and the CIA and all that forever. We've had each other's back. So you go to the Queen's funeral 96 years later, and you show up late. And what did they do with you, Biden, and your babysitter? They put you in the 14th row because you have no respect for anybody or anything. Mr. Brandon, do you remember when the 13 soldiers, the dead Marines, and other people were going by? I think there was an Army guy, maybe even a naval gal, were going by you in their coffins, and you did this. You went and checked your watch because you had something better to do than to watch those poor soldiers that you got murdered because of your idiotic departure from Afghanistan, when you had to check your watch. You're a sick man. You're a sick, soulless bastard. And on top of it, you go show who you are to the rest of the world. Remember, there were kings and queens and monarchs from every country there at that funeral in England. And we show up late. Did you poop yourself, Joe? Did we have a little poopy doopies and we had to deal with it? Is that why we were late, Joe? Yeah, I bet so. I bet you got a little stinker going on in the car over and you had to deal with it. Kind of like when you shit the boat. You went to Italy and you made absolute fools out of us, so you're getting good. You're getting really good at making Americans look stupid and weak and out of control, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sure that is the case, because why else would you show up late? You got Air Force One, for God's sakes, and you got armored vehicles taking you everywhere you need to go when you say, or when they tell you to say. I guess they told you to be late. Were you trying to make a statement? Well, they made a statement out of you, bub. They sat your ass in the 14th row. I hope you're proud. Folks, Stuart Varney was on this morning, and he was talking about this inflation thing and how out of touch the Democrats and Joe Biden is, and he said it's on purpose, and he says it's so irresponsible that he doesn't even know how to talk about it. I know how he feels. I start to talk about this stuff, I'm out of words to describe the disaster this is. This is the biggest disaster I've ever seen. And yet, half of you idiots are going to go out there and vote for these people. I can't believe we're talking about trying to retain the Senate in November. Trying to? With what's going on? Americans, if you can't see this for what it is, I'm going to have to just lose hope on the whole country as a whole. I don't know what patriotism is anymore, I guess, because I know a handful of patriots anymore. I don't know anybody that really cares anymore. And when I talk issues with people, they don't know what I'm talking about. I'll bring up that Harvard vaccine study that was published, and they're like, "Oh, really? That happened? Aren't you appalled? Aren't you freaked out?" No. Oh, so the vaccine wasn't good for you? Oh, that's too bad. How about inflation? Aren't you freaked out about inflation? What is it now? It's like 3% or something. No, man, it's like 8.4%. Oh, is that high? I mean, I guess I know we're all seeing it at the gas pumps. I know the grocery stores. That's ridiculous if you can get the groceries you want anymore. This is America. This is freedom. This is it. This is it, America. You're cool with it. You're just cool with it, I guess. We dump the money into the airlines and they flip us the bird and tell us to go F ourselves. And now they're effing up flights all over the world for us. That's our thanks for saving their asses. Teachers, all you teachers that lost your job because you wouldn't vaccinate, I'd be walking right back in there and say, "Hey, I got a study for you to read. And then I want my money back. I want all my back pay and I want a bonus." Or I'd get an attorney, because this is ridiculous. What we're doing to the citizens of our own country is absolutely ridiculous, and it has got to stop. Folks, if you don't think November is important, you really need a wake-up call. You really do. You really need to sit back for a minute and start to study what's going on around you and understand how much better it could be. Why you don't, I don't know. Why you think that, "Oh, Steve, we go through this every so many years. We just have to take it, and then they're going to do whatever they want anyway." That's so lame. I mean, just lay down. Why don't you just lay down, put a blankie over your head, and just go to sleep? You were the one, if that's how you think, you were the patriot that said, "King and queen, it's cool. I mean, let's just deal with that for a while longer." And this would be a disaster. You'd be taxed at 70% right now. Or probably overrun and overtaken, because if we could beat them with colonial and militia, what other country would have came in and just taken over America and did whatever the hell? They'd probably be a communist country, which it almost is now, thanks to the Democrats. Is that where we're heading, folks? If you don't think November is important, you really, really, really need to get a cold glass of ice water and throw it right in your own face and wake the hell up. Get them out, people. Educate them. Explain to them what's going on with this disaster. Make them watch a few clips on TikTok of who's in charge of this place. It won't take long to figure it out. It's an embarrassment, beyond an embarrassment. All right, I'm depressed. Just kidding. All right, patriots, be kind, be cool, take care of one another. Do good things for one another, and do something kind for somebody today, will you? All right, you guys take care.